What's up, guys? We got a very special bonus episode for you. First of its kind, definitely not the last. We just saw Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and we need to talk about it. I'm here with Austin.
Bounty Law!
And this is Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Coming at you on a Monday today. Still expect Creepshow this week. This is going to be a twofer. We just needed to vent about this movie. It was an experience. It was amazing. And we just want to dissect it from beginning to end. So spoiler warning, big time.
Oh, yeah. We can't get into this movie without spoiling. Yeah. So
This is an amazing film. Connects to two previous Filmgasm topics. Quentin Tarantino and Roman Polanski.
Amazing.
Episodes 5 and 10. So, if you're a long-time listener, you're going to like this one.
Hell yeah, buckle up. Oh, man. And also, we saw this on Friday night, because it came out technically Thursday. We saw it Friday night together.
Yeah.
It was an event. I told him when I was walking up the stairs to, sit in our seat, I was like, I feel like I'm at a concert. Like, I'm about to get really excited. And it was very exciting to see everybody on the screen. You're like, Here it is! Tarantino is back, baby! Amazing. So much fun. So this weekend, that's really all I've thought about, is his movie. I've watched other movies trying to distract myself, but I can't stop thinking about how great his ninth film was.
It was amazing. It's been 4 years since his last film, The Hateful Eight,
which had a lot of. I think that's one of the more mixed Tarantino movies.
Yeah,
mixed reviews.
I think it proved to me that he was human after all.
Yeah, and this movie, Once Upon a Time, I am all in and thought it was brilliant.
Absolutely.
After the first view. Hateful Eight took me 3 or 4 times to really understand the characters, and that's partly on me as a viewer, but I think that was part of the point, too, of Hateful Eight, is that it's very long, very heavy dialogue, and kind of boring at times.
Yeah.
But
this movie
it's growing on me, but this one is just there.
It's roughly as long, but it does not feel as long.
Not at all.
This is way more poppin' than Hateful Eight was. This is reminiscent of Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
And it's the most complete thing he's done in a very long time.
Yeah, maybe ever. Honestly, maybe ever. Yeah, let's get into it.
All right. So, the major players of this film are Leonardo DiCaprio, Brad Pitt, and Margot Robbie.
Yes.
Leo plays Rick Dalton, a washed-up TV actor who is struggling to find work after he gets his famous show Bounty Law canceled because he wanted a film career that didn't happen. And with him is his trusty stuntman / driver, Cliff Booth, Brad Pitt, who is just a fucking train wreck of a human being who is basically Superman come to life. The dude's a fucking rock star.
Yeah. Both fictional characters here.
Yeah.
These first two.
But holy shit, man.
Cliff Booth is a legendary character, just solely off of how he presents himself.
Yeah, he could
the aviators, the shades, his keys were always kind of flipping around in his hand.
Hawaiian
shirt, sometimes off.
He is Hollywood.
Yeah. And did you notice how often they kept panning out his moccasins? By the way, he's wearing those shoes, just so you know. I love that Tarantino is like, oh, you guys think I have something with feet? Yeah, here you go. Yeah, here you go. So cool.
Yeah.
So cool. He's just toying with us at this point.
He's earned the right to do that.
He has. Brilliant stuff.
And Margot Robbie plays Sharon Tate.
Yes.
Famous actress from the 60s who was tragically murdered in 1969 by the Manson family, as we've previously covered in the Roman Polanski episode. And Roman Polanski makes an appearance in this movie, played by some Polish actor whose name escapes me again.
Yeah.
But holy shit, he looked just like it.
It was pretty creepy.
It was unnerving.
Yeah. And that was at the very beginning of the film. You see the back of his head driving with Sharon, and you're like, oh boy.
You only catch glimpses of Polanski in this because this is not about him. This is about Sharon.
Yes.
And this is Tarantino's version of what would happen.
Yeah. Okay, that's where I guess we need to bring up that Tarantino has masterfully figured out a way to balance realism and fantasy and fairy tale.
Yeah.
And right here we have our two main characters, like Connor said, Leo and Brad Pitt, both fictional, completely made up, and hilarious. Great characters.
Yeah.
And then Sharon Tate, this actress who just got killed, couldn't have the career that we all thought she was going to have. Connor and I, very rare that people have seen anything she's in.
Yeah.
Connor and I actually watched Fearless Vampire Killers, and she was in that, and she's breathtakingly gorgeous in it. And I think she was going to have a very long career.
Yes.
I think that was a pretty well-known fact. And the movie balances those two things so well.
Yeah.
So tremendously, and never made me question, like, I don't know if you're allowed to do that.
And this is not the first time he's done this.
No.
Tarantino did this in 2009's Inglourious Basterds.
He's a master at it now.
By presenting an alternative ending to World War II in which Adolf Hitler and Goebbels and all the rest of the Nazi high command were gunned down by Jewish soldiers and burned to death in a movie theater. And everyone was like, yeah, all right, sure.
I'm down with that.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, because those guys suck. Yeah.
Tarantino takes history's monsters and gives you the ending you wish that they had.
Yeah, or even, agreed. And especially lately in his filmography, the past few. Django, you have a vengeful ending where it's like, we want all those guys to die. Go kill them.
It's not just perfectly, vengeful. It's poetic.
Yeah.
It makes sense. It's ironic.
Yes.
Hitler gets shot to death by Jews. Calvin Candy gets, shot by a German guy who loved, or didn't love, but, what am I trying to say here?
I honestly don't know what wording you'd use.
Well, his whole family gets killed by a slave.
Yes.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And then in this one, again, last warning for spoilers, the Manson family murderers get beat to shit by Cliff Booth.
Yes, I can't wait to talk about that later when we get into that part of the film. Brilliant stuff.
Yeah.
But he also has, in, like his earlier films, Reservoir Dogs, you have a scene with a cop where he gets brutally tortured, essentially. And it's pretty clear, okay, this guy probably doesn't like cops too much. And you're like, oh, maybe it's just... And then in Pulp Fiction, a cop gets... Who knows what happened to him? Marcellus Wallace said some medieval shit's gonna happen, so...
Yeah, I fucking forgot Zed was a cop.
Yeah, Zed's a cop.
Yeah.
And a rapist. So Tarantino clearly wants to destroy these monsters with violence.
Yeah.
Fight fire with fire, because that's the only way it's gonna work sometimes. And it's fucking entertaining.
Yeah. I mean, look at Kill Bill. That movie's all about
exactly
just poetic vengeance.
Yeah, he's been doing this shit for a long time, and with this movie he became a master at it, an absolute master at balancing the two, because this is such a specific time.
Yeah,
I guess we can get into that now. The film is basically over 6 month span. We have roughly. I mean, we have like flashbacks and whatnot.
The late '60s in Los Angeles, the golden age of Hollywood, the end of the golden age. And it's 1969 when the Manson family murders happened.
And August is when that occurred.
Yeah.
When the Manson family murdered Sharon Tate and others.
And this was a time where things in Hollywood were changing.
Oh,
where the old, mavericks of TV, the John Waynes, weren't famous anymore. They weren't the big thing. They weren't being able to, Rick Dalton is John Wayne light, basically.
Yeah.
Just a lot more likable and a lot less racist. And...
Fucking hippies.
We're not leaving that one. But, yeah. He does hate hippies. But the hippies are the new norm now. This is what Hollywood is.
Yeah. I mean, as we get as we move into the 70s and, the golden, as far as it might not have ever been actually golden, but what we were told is the golden era of Hollywood is technically over.
Yeah.
And here comes this new wave of interesting films like we've talked about, Bonnie and Clyde comes out in 1967 and young people are obsessed with it. Why? These are not good characters.
No.
We started liking stuff that was a little more evil. We talked about on a recent episode The Godfather. It's just changing, and this movie being placed in that and being sent around, like you said, Rick Dalton, who's just confused.
Yeah.
And doesn't quite know who he is, doesn't know his identity.
No.
It's such a brilliant backdrop for this whole movie.
Well, he's adamant throughout that he doesn't want to do Italian Westerns, which is what actors like him did in the 60s. They went to Italy and they filmed spaghetti westerns because it was good money and it was movies.
Yeah, it was a job.
It was what they could do. Nobody was buying, The Searchers anymore. People wanted the good, the bad, and the ugly.
Yes. Yeah.
And eventually Dalton does go to Italy and does these movies, and it does make him a bit of a star.
Yeah. No, he's able to be comfortable, and come back to L.A. and have
He finds a hot Italian wife.
Yes.
Comes back to L.A. a little fat and happy. Just, drinking margaritas straight from the blender.
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome.
Yeah, so cool. Yeah, we're getting ahead of ourselves. We gotta go.
There's so many scenes I want to talk about.
Yeah, really, we could just put the movie on, pause it every 5 minutes, and be like, da-da-da-da, and break down. There's so much, and we just saw it on Friday, so it's still a little fresh, but I want to see it again so bad.
Me too.
Oh, I'm dying to go see it sometime this week, so we'll try to figure that out. And because there's so much to unpack, and I think about just how often we hear the radio on this movie.
Yeah. Oh,
they're
boy.
in the because Leo and Brad Pitt. It really shows the distance of stuff in L.A.
Mm-hmm.
How you have to drive far to get to places, or you have to drive far to get to that ranch, and that places, and you see a lot of driving, and I really liked that. It felt very realistic. It felt very like I'm with them. I'm traveling with them to these places.
Dalton's house is in the Hollywood Hills, next door to Roman Polanski
on
and Sharon Tate's
Drive.
house on Cielo Drive.
Yeah.
And he's always commenting about, do you know who lives right next to me? Roman fucking Polanski.
The guy who directed Rosemary's fucking Baby.
I could be in a Polanski film.
I think Connor and I were the only ones laughing when that happened in the theater. When he's freaking out about the Rosemary's Baby director, Connor and I were like, yeah.
We did all this research. We know all about Roman Polanski.
That was great. I felt rewarded.
Me too.
For doing all that research. I felt rewarded.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Again, long-time listeners, you guys have been with us, and you've heard everything we've done. We did some big episodes on the Tarantino alone, and then the Polanski stuff. So as this movie starts to unfold...
And then John Wayne. Oddly enough, this seems to tie into almost
lot
every
of
Weird
things.
Shit Wednesday we've done.
And we always talk about the 70s. We always bring up the 70s. Yeah.
This is just...
It felt like it was made for us.
Yeah.
If that might be arrogant, I don't care. Tarantino's arrogant, so...
Yeah.
It was made for Connor and I.
Absolutely.
For people like Connor and I. It was, so good. So, okay, what do you want to talk about, like, at the beginning of the film, where it's just kind of banter between these characters, and then you're kind of figuring out who Dalton is? Like, what was going through your head? Were you...
When you got introduced... It opens with the intro to Bounty Law.
Yeah.
Where you're introduced to Rick Dalton in his prime, where he was the lead character on Bounty Law. And you get the vibe that Rick Dalton is a famous TV actor who isn't as famous as he wants to be.
Yes.
And Cliff Booth is just along for the ride.
Yeah, he just has a job.
Yeah. He's just... I think there's loyalty there that's unspoken. Because Cliff's been through some shit. He apparently killed his wife.
Yeah.
And got away with it. And he's a pariah in Hollywood.
Yeah.
But Dalton stood
He's
by.
also a war veteran.
Yeah.
So, the character, like, background we get of Cliff Booth, is that this guy's, like, a badass.
Yeah.
Like, who can kill if he needs to. So, yeah.
You could say that, yeah.
So, yeah.
He's a stuntman, he's a veteran, he's a fighter. He fights Bruce Lee in one scene.
He's basically like a Tarantino filmgasm, like, to the max, Like,
yeah.
Whoa, like, there's all these great things
if
in
you
one
take
character.
every badass character Quentin Tarantino's ever made and mix them in a blender, you get Cliff Booth. And it's great. And
yeah, he can fight like Butch from Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
He's got dialogue like Michael Madsen from Reservoir Dogs. Yeah, he's got it all, dude. Got it all.
He's got Aldo Rain's smirk.
Exactly, yeah. What's also great about this, real quick, just point out, Brad Pitt and Leo are both Quentin Tarantino. Like, they're part of his world now.
Yeah.
Like, they're not just been in one movie now. They've been in two.
I remember reading
They're
somewhere...
officially a part of his his realm.
They're his new guys.
Yeah, that's really cool.
I remember reading somewhere that Tarantino considered himself the luckiest director in the world because he got Leo and Brad Pitt at the same time. And I agree.
I agree. I don't think I really
only he could do that.
It'd be really interesting for you and I to like go back and figure out what's the most powerful like male duo in a movie. Where they're both at just the peak of their career.
Paul Newman and Robert Redford.
Yeah, that's the Sting.
Yeah,
I was just about to say.
Absolutely.
I think that's probably the one I'd point out to from '73. Yeah, great film. Love the Sting. But these guys might be, I don't know, more famous if that's the right.
Absolutely, they're more famous.
And they're just more. There's more to them, more personality to them, more obviously more access because of the internet now.
I think because they're both very highly established movie stars and character actors.
Yeah, that's a good point.
They're the best of both worlds.
Yeah, Brad Pitt can do like I'm in a movie for 3 minutes as a stoner, but he can also be Benjamin fucking Button.
Yeah,
and Leo can be in Titanic, but also yeah. You're right.
Yeah,
that's a good point. It's so cool to see
neither of them are
guys.
paycheck actors. They're both in it for the work.
Yes, 100%.
And
Tarantino is too. So
I think a lot of people don't realize that about Brad Pitt. I think that I don't think he gets enough credit for being an actor. I think he's seen by most people as a tabloid movie star.
They do that in Once Upon a Time, like Pretty Boy, and it's like, they're playing off the public idea of Brad Pitt. Take your shirt off, Brad Pitt. Like, smoke a cigarette, Brad Pitt. Like, that's what looks hot, and that's what he does. But it's also like, shit, this guy has a lot of like substance to him. Fuck, yeah. Really cool. It reminded me a lot of there are times where I was like, man, can you imagine being like if you would have gone to the theater in 1999 and saw Tyler Durden and think that this is what he was gonna do later on. Really, really cool that he's just still he's just a badass. Like he still is. And like I really like that you point out he's about the work and he's not just this guy. Yeah, not this guy who's just like, oh, I'm here for the money or doing this or that. He really
He's a character actor trapped in the body of a movie star.
Basically.
Yeah.
Basically. That's a good way to sum it up. Well done in this movie, though, Brad Pitt. Well
Oh my
done.
god, they both should get Oscars for this movie.
Leo's, in my opinion, has never been this versatile.
Oh my god,
it's not like every movie he's in, he's very locked in. He's very in it and very, very convincing that he's that character. But this, I've never seen him with so many layers and so many things going on. Him going in and out because he's playing an actor,
Yeah.
and it's just constant. It doesn't stop. He's also like drunk a lot.
Yeah,
He's also smoking like the whole time. He's just so captivating.
he's in a downward spiral.
Yeah.
He's trying to dig himself out.
And then he has the little banter he has, like, even at the end. One of my favorite parts is when he's holding Brad Pitt's sunglasses, and Brad Pitt reaches for him, and Leo's like, "Come get him, fucker!" And it's this weird, like, southern accent, and you're like, Leo, like, dude, how do you do it? Because I never once in the 2 hours and 45 minutes was I like, Leo's doing a really good job. I was just like, Rick Dalton. Rick Dalton.
Yep.
Rick Dalton. And that is a sign of a really good fucking actor.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, Leo should definitely be up for best for everything, every award, best actor and every.
This film, I think, is going to make some serious waves award season, waves that I don't think Tarantino's ever seen.
I agree.
I think he might finally take director, which would be amazing. If he's ever deserved it, it's for this.
Agreed.
And yeah, I think this is just going to be. It's for sure going to take costume.
Oh, dude.
And yeah,
it really. It's in Hollywood, the whole thing. You know,
Yeah.
it's like an ode to LA, to 60s Los Angeles.
it's like Pulp Fiction meets La La Land.
That's a great,
That's basically what this movie
great
is.
mashup. With a little bit of like Lebowski, where you just have these like losers kind of roaming around Los Angeles. You know, just kind of like, it's weird. It's so cool. This movie's amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, so, we've said enough about, I guess, our two main characters as we get into the movie.
And in the background, you've got Sharon Tate just kind of going around her
that's
life.
That's a
daily
great
life.
segue into Sharon Tate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She goes to see her own movie at the movie theater. A movie
Brilliant
she did
scene.
with who is the guy? Dean Martin.
Yes, yeah.
And she's happy to be on the cusp of a promising career.
Yeah, there's people around her clapping when she's on screen. Yeah. They laugh at her bits, and she's excited. They show her excited.
She goes to a party with Roman, and there you meet Steve McQueen.
All right, that's a great at the Playboy Mansion.
At the Playboy Mansion.
Steve McQueen,
1969. Played by Damian Lewis, who I never would have thought would be Steve McQueen. But holy fuck, was he good?
I thought he was great. Yeah, I thought he was great.
And he points out, he's talking about the relationship, the relationship between Sharon Tate and Roman Polanski, and the guy she was with beforehand, who's now like their best friend. Talk about a fucking cuck. But anyway, he's saying like, that Polish prick's gonna fuck this up, and it's a great line. And it's lines like that show you why Tarantino didn't send this to Roman Polanski for approval.
Yeah, well, it's also got another layer because if Sharon Tate in this world, in this movie, she lives.
Yeah.
So if Polanski does that stuff still in 78, right?
Yeah.
He'd still be with Sharon Tate.
Oh.
So she'd still be alive for that happening. So it's even funnier hearing Steve McQueen say...
Would he still do that if he was
probably
with Sharon?
Not. But it's funny hearing Steve McQueen say... Because you're like, wait, because it makes you think, would that still have been an occurrence? Had he been with Sharon Tate?
I don't know.
Probably not. But you can't know. And so it's like a really funny, layered...
Did the tragic circumstances of Sharon's death push him down that road?
Yeah, crazy.
Possibly.
I guess it's not funny. I keep saying funny. It's not. But it's ironic. It's like, what?
Yeah.
And for Tarantino to have the balls to do that, to put that in a movie is really cool.
Well, I like that the person he did go to for approval for this is Sharon Tate's sister, Deborah.
Yes.
Who did give her approval on this movie.
She said, go ahead and make it.
Yeah. Because I think that's the person he should have gone to. I think Roman Polanski's involvement in this is minimal at best.
It's so minor.
Including the whole scope of Sharon Tate's murder and what happened.
He really... He was dressed like Austin Powers in the movie, which is how he dressed in real life. But it's like all you see is him dancing at the You see him dancing at the Playboy Mansion. You see him in a car a few times. Like that's it.
This movie paints Roman Polanski as a bumbling fool. Really.
Yeah. It's just this kind of how he looked in Fearless Vampire Killers. Really, is how he's paint. Yeah, and I think Tarantino was like, I'm not going to make him look bad or good.
Yeah,
I'm just going to throw him on the screen a few times just to almost flex my muscles of look how real this looks because Polanski's there. And if you know about Polanski, you're like, oh, fuck, yeah. Mm-hmm. Things start going in your brain. So really cool.
And you can tell he did his research. There's a scene where Sharon Tate goes to the bookstore to pick up a copy of Thomas Hardy's Tess of the D'Urbervilles, which was the inspiration for his Polanski's film Tess.
Yes.
Which we did all that research on.
And we all know that Sharon Tate would have been in Tess had she been alive.
She loved that book. He made it for her.
Yeah.
So little things like that really push this into realism even further. Especially if you're like us and you know this whole story.
Yeah, and maybe we are a little bit biased towards that, but that's how it goes. Like, if you have that knowledge of that stuff, you're going to like it more.
Yeah.
Because you have some information in your
This
brain.
was a film made for film fans.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And I think there's people who are, like, older who may be a little detached from Tarantino as a viewer who might find this to be quite refreshing.
Yeah.
Because it is very different from his other films.
Absolutely.
The pace is way different. I think he obviously sticks to very strong dialogue, very heavy dialogue.
Yeah.
And lots of like stuff in the car, lots of this and that, little
all of his little tricks are there.
They are,
yeah.
But it seems more refined than it ever has been. It seems like more of like you said, it felt like it could have been made by someone else. Mm-hmm. And it felt like it didn't quite have, and that might be bad to some people, but to me that's a sign of wow, you really can grow even when you're Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah.
So and that's really cool. That's kind of the power of film is. That's Tarantino's whole thing is the power of movies, the power of storytelling. You can change things, you can change people's mind, and he kind of. I don't see how you can get better than this. Like this Star Trek thing better be really good because that's going to be his last movie. Fuck, like, this would have been a great last film.
It would have
been a great because it's an ode to when he was like 8 years old in 1969. It's like an ode to his whole inspiration for being who he is. So really cool. So much little stuff in it, like Connor said.
Absolutely,
little Easter eggs, and that's why I think we want to go see it again really bad. Is to see all that stuff.
Absolutely,
and I want to see the end scene again really bad. It was brilliant.
Oh my god. Yeah, we're gonna get to that. We're gonna save that for last.
Because we have to unpack the whole thing because it's amazing.
One thing I want to touch on is Bruce Lee.
Perfect. That's exactly what we're. Yeah.
Right, so Bruce Lee's played by Mike Moe in this, and he does a great job. Looks, sounds just like him. He's got the suit, he's got the hair.
The hair is
sunglasses.
Stellar, yeah.
He's got this arrogance that he totally deserves.
Yeah.
And he's talking about how he could beat the shit out of Cassius Clay.
Yes.
And Cliff Booth is over there thinking, oh, you fucking can't. He's laughing. And Bruce Lee's like, did I say something funny? He's like, yeah, you kind of did. It's like, you're fucking tripping if you think you'd be anything more than a stain on Cassius Clay's glove. Bruce is like, you want to put your money where your mouth is?
Yeah.
He's like, I fucking do. And Cliff Booth fights Bruce Lee.
Yeah, he's basically, this is a good idea. I think we should fight.
Yeah,
sounds good.
On a film set that he's not supposed to be on because he's already pissed off these people once.
Yes.
But he's
who are the people he's pissed off?
Kurt Russell and Zoe Bell. Because why not?
So good.
Wonderful.
And Cliff Booth is a stuntman. How cool is all that?
Stuntman Mike. Everything, it's all circular. I fucking love it.
It's crazy how he does it.
This has little bits from everything he's ever done.
Mm-hmm. Which is why it would have been cool for his last film.
It would have been, yeah.
But we didn't have Samuel L.
We did not. Weirdly.
Yeah. Right? Why not just throw him in somewhere?
I know, right?
At like the Playboy Mansion. Just throw him as some guy who's like drunk and is like saying, I don't know. That would have been great if you could have just seen him for just a couple seconds.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe he's got something in mind for Star Trek or something.
Well, I know that like a scene with Tim Roth was cut. James Marsden was supposed to play Burt Reynolds.
Yeah.
And there was no Harvey Keitel. Like, it's not perfect. But, you did get a little scene with Michael Madsen, which is cool.
Oh.
A little scene with Bruce Dern.
Yeah. We also got Al Pacino.
We got Al Pacino.
Who's a first-time Tarantino guy.
Yeah. He's doing some big first times this year.
Yeah.
He's got The Irishman with Scorsese coming out soon.
Yeah.
It's nuts. He's having a bit of a
That's way more
here.
surprising that Pacino hasn't worked with Scorsese.
I know, right?
Than Tarantino.
Weirdly.
Yeah, really weird.
Yeah.
Really weird.
I don't know. He's always had kind of a weird beef with De Niro.
Yeah.
Like a rivalry.
I kind of like it, though.
Yeah, me too.
They're just Titans.
Gave us Heat.
Anyway, yeah. Heat's great, yeah.
Anyway, Al Pacino plays DiCaprio's agent.
Yeah.
Schwartz.
Yeah.
Schwartz.
There's just plenty of like great little like cameo type thing, the little roles that are just awesome. But I think Mike Moe was one of my favorite.
Yeah, that whole scene is great because
Yeah.
Cliff Booth beats the shit out of him.
Yeah, after Mike Moe, Bruce Lee challenges him. Yeah, he gets the shit.
He throws him into a car.
Yeah. Well, yeah,
because he's like 70 pounds.
Yeah, because he says Bruce Lee's like, all right, what does he say? Best 2 out of 3 or something.
Yeah, whoever puts who on the ground.
Yeah,
first.
but it's like a standstill. So he goes and kicks him, and Cliff Booth falls.
Yeah,
not that hard, just kind of falls, and he's like, okay, why don't you try to do that again? He does the exact same thing, And I can't remember what kind of car it is, but it is Zoe Bell's, right?
Yeah, Zoe Bell's car.
And just, smashes him into it. Like, that's the first, violence we see where we're like, oh yeah, like Tarantino, yeah.
It's remarkably restrained until the third act.
The third act kind of makes up for all of that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that scene's great, and then Zoe Bell comes out and is like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah, and it goes back to Brad Pitt back on the roof, and he's like, maybe not. Because it's like a flashback. Really cool.
Boy.
Oh,
I
man.
love it.
Yeah, so good. So good.
And during all this, Rick Dalton is in a pilot for a new show called Lancer, which is like Bounty Law 2. The same Western Gunsmoke Bonanza shit.
They're all just recycled, yeah.
And he's going to play the heavy, which is, they get a big actor to play the bad guy, and he gets killed for an episode. But then Al Pacino points out something really cool, that this is not just Rick Dalton playing the bad guy. This is the new killing the old. This is, basically saying Rick Dalton's career is over, and this is who's going to replace him. And Rick Dalton takes that to heart, and it gets in his head.
Yes.
And, he gets put under heavy makeup, and he's, he goes to rehearse, and he's reading a book, and this little girl is there. It's a great scene.
Classic scene. Classic scene. Because he litters a couple times,
yeah,
and he doesn't know she's around, and he turns over, and she's there, and he's like, oh, fuck.
He's obnoxiously loud. She's trying to read. It's perfect. It's comedy. One thing I want to say is I went into this movie not expecting what genre it was going to be. I didn't expect comedy, but it was so funny.
It was hilarious. To me, by far and away, the funniest, through and through Tarantino movie.
Absolutely.
So funny. The whole time. I was dying laughing. But mainly because of Rick Dalton.
Yeah.
We have to talk about the scene in his RV. We have to talk about that.
We're going to,
yeah,
yes.
Yeah, so good.
Absolutely.
So yeah, I really, who's that little girl?
I don't
She's
know.
fantastic.
Let's find out.
She was great.
She was great. She had a great dialogue with him.
Really fun dialogue, yeah, a little piece of, Rick Dalton kind of reflecting on his career and himself, and he starts crying.
Yeah, because the guy in the book is a cowboy in his twilight years who doesn't know his time is up, and he starts having a sound of silence moment.
He falls off his horse and hurts his hip. He doesn't realize he's not the same rider anymore. The whole time, Dalton's accent is just so pristine.
Julia Butters is her name.
She's got a future.
Yes.
I believe she does.
She's only 10 years old.
Perfect. Keep working with geniuses like Tarantino, hey, you'll be fine. You'll find
her scene with Leo when he's playing, or when Rick Dalton is playing Caleb, the bad guy, and that's my favorite scene in the movie.
Brilliant.
It's because it's Rick Dalton playing the bad guy, but he's doing it in a Calvin Candy-esque way.
Yeah.
Where he's this sadistic, evil shit.
And that is when Luke Perry pops up.
Yeah.
He plays Wayne, who's talking to him in the scene that they're acting
Luke
in.
Perry's final film.
Yeah, rest in peace, my man. That was a very, very cool scene. Yeah. For that to be your last...
Talk about going out on a high note.
Yeah, working with Leo, going back and forth, really cool.
Absolutely.
Good for him, yeah.
Yeah. It's great. Before that, they're filming with... he's filming with Timothy Olyphant, who's the new Rick Dalton.
Basically, yeah.
And he's having trouble remembering his lines. And he just goes, line! And it's so...
Yeah. Leo is this is when you're kind of a little confused with him, because he keeps going in and out of the character he's playing, while at the same time, he's an act... it's crazy. It's super layered, and while it's happening, and Timothy Olyphant does really well just kind of playing off of that.
It's Leo playing Rick Dalton, hamming it up, and forgetting his lines.
Yeah. Oh. And then, and then we have the breakdown.
Yeah.
The great Rick Dalton breakdown scene where he realizes he is an alcoholic and he doesn't have the chops anymore.
No. You go in there, you embarrass yourself like that. It's just freaking out. It's like you're not. Yeah.
It kind of was scary because you see, there's a frame where you see his RV inside, and then the door opens and you just see someone boom fly in and hit the window, and you're like, whoa! And he comes stomping around like, what the hell was that? What are you doing, Rick? Looking in the mirror at himself, and then he talks about you drink too goddamn much, and then he grabs the flask.
Yeah.
He's like, fuck it.
It's like, if you take another drink, I'm gonna blow your goddamn brains out. He's just talking to himself, and the mirror is angled so that he's talking to the audience, and it's so perfect.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, it's beautiful.
It's the hardest I've ever laughed at a Tarantino movie, by far. One of the hardest times I've ever laughed at a theater. I was dying. I couldn't contain myself. And he gets back out there and,
and he kills it.
Crushes it. Crushes it.
The little girl tells him, that was the best acting I've ever seen, and he gets really emotional.
And says...
Rick fucking Dalton. Damn straight.
That like 15-minute bit, my stomach was just hurting so bad because I was like, Rick, dude, this guy is seared in my mind now. Rick Dalton. Rick fucking Dalton.
I think he's up there with my favorite Tarantino characters now. Just after one viewing,
yeah,
I will never forget Rick Dalton.
This movie hit me so hard the very first time. Whereas, like, other movies of his have taken maybe a couple viewings to, like, really understand it. Part of that's my age, and then I'm older now.
Yeah.
And I'm seeing this in theaters.
I agree.
Because, let's be honest, we didn't get to see some of his, biggest movies.
My first one was Inglourious Basterds when I was 14.
Same. That was my first, and from there on out, I saw, of course, Django and then Hateful Eight, and now... But those first 3, and then the Kill Bills, we didn't get to see in theaters.
No.
So this is an event for us. We're, like, huge fans, and we wish we could go back in time and see Pulp Fiction in a theater in 1994, but that's not happening. So this is like what we have, and maybe I am a little more excited than I should be about it, but I can't contain that.
No.
I can't contain it, and seeing these mega stars work with, one of my favorite guys to ever do it, one of my favorite directors and writers to ever do it, and it's completely original.
Yeah.
It's something we haven't ever seen in our lives, and so it was so cool. It felt so special, this movie.
So let's go away from Rick Dalton for a bit.
Yeah, that's a good transition, yeah.
Talk about Cliff Booth and his time with The Compound.
Yes. All right, so I want to point out a little research I did about Pussycat.
Okay.
Which is, what's her name? Margaret Qualley? Is that her name? Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Margaret Qualley's character. Good actress.
Yes.
Yes. She was kind of frightening. I don't really know how or why.
Because we knew what was going to happen.
Of course. But it's still, she just was almost frustrating. You're like, Cliff, really, dude? You're really gonna what are you doing, Cliff?
At least he was smart enough to know not to do what
he was.
Yeah.
So her name is Pussycat. Pussycat is the name of the theater Quentin Tarantino used to work at when he was 16. It was a porno theater. That was the first job he ever had. And so he was like, I wanted to, he was like, it was in L.A. I wanted to name one of my characters Pussycat. Pussycat is a part of this Manson madness, and she just seems like this normal hippie who's hanging out in Hollywood, because that's, like you said, that's the new norm. That's what's in style, is, hippie music, the, psychedelic rock, that's what's going on. That's, the Beatles have taken over, and now that's what's in, is this stuff. So Cliff Booth sees her, where is she, like a bench, right?
Yeah.
Bus, kind of like a bus stop.
He sees her several times hitchhiking, and on the third time he's like, all right, I'll pick her up.
And she says, third time's a charm, right, huh? Yeah. And he picks her up this time.
Yeah.
She says, I'm hitchhiking, and she's going to Spawn Ranch.
Yeah.
Spawn Ranch, owned by George Spahn, who is played by Bruce Dern, we'll bring up in a little bit. Spawn Ranch is where these Manson freaks hang out. Mm-hmm. But Cliff Booth does not know this because he used to work at Spawn Ranch making movies.
Yep.
With George Spahn. So now we have this scene where, yes, we as viewers are like, something's definitely up.
Well, also, before that, I like that you get a little bit more honor with Cliff when she offers to blow him.
That's true, good point. Yeah.
And he says, how old are you? And
also, a lot more foot stuff in that scene.
Yeah.
Her feet are like Tarantino.
The most obvious foot stuff he's ever done.
Yeah.
But, she says, wow, you're the first guy ever asked me that. And he's like, well, how old are you? She's like, 18. He's like, you have ID? She's like, no. And she's like, yeah, because you're not.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, because you're not 18.
He's like, I've stayed out of prison this long. I ain't going there for you.
Yeah, for a piece of poontang. Says it like, he sounded like Aldo Rain right there. Like, I ain't going back there. So good.
So he takes her to Spawn Ranch, where he meets the family, and
fucking weirdos.
Charlie's not there. He's
of course
out.
Not. I guess we didn't even mention that Charlie went to earlier in the film.
We see Charles Manson one time in this film,
very brief,
and it's the perfect amount. He goes to Sharon Tate's house to ask about
the people who previously lived there, right?
Melcher.
Something like I can't remember.
So I know from research that he's the guy who did not like Charles Manson's demo tape, and that's what started this whole thing.
Yeah. Okay.
Manson wanted to be a musician. He thought his music was going to change the world. This guy said, "Tough luck,
man,
fat chance." So he's like, "All right, well, we're going to have a conversation." So he goes to the house and finds out he doesn't live there anymore. Sharon Tate lives here now, and he's like, "Oh shit, well, all right," and he leaves. And that's it for Charles Manson. In the background, he's still working shit out. But Cliff goes to the compound. He meets the family.
I mean, he goes partly because he's like, oh, George Spahn. Yeah. Oh, that's where I used to do.
He wants to say hi.
Yeah, wants to say hi to George Spahn, old friend.
Yeah.
So So there is like a reason for him to go there, other than like you're like it's not like a dumb horror movie moment where you're like, don't go there, man.
Everything makes sense.
Yes, it totally makes sense. So yeah, all right, take it away from where we.
All right, so he goes there, and there's a shit ton of hippies just hanging out at Spawn Ranch, and
like 20, like 20 of them,
led by Dakota Fanning as Squeaky Fromm, and I think that's her name, right?
Squeaky, yeah.
And she's very hostile, and as Cliff's talking to her, trying to get into George's house, the crowd starts forming behind him, and you're wondering, oh shit, are they gonna grab his ass? And the whole time I'm thinking like Cliff's gonna die here.
And is it gonna be Lena Dunham who does it?
Oh yeah, Lena Dunham's one of the freaks,
one of the weirdos,
and for some reason.
Yeah, such a strange role for her.
Very strange.
Whatever.
And eventually, he does get into the house, and he sees George, who's asleep in the back. He's just gone
out of it. Yeah, out of it.
She's clearly taking advantage of him. He has he doesn't know the extent of what's going on here.
No, they're like hosting. There's people there like taking a horse tour around this ranch.
Tex.
With Tex and a couple other girls, while all these people are just like hanging out like on the grounds, and then George Spawn is like in a very back room, not even aware of what all is going on. It's really sad.
Mm-hmm. So Cliff goes, he leaves. He says
he's also blind.
Yeah, George's also blind, and Cliff's just kind of sad about his old buddy mentor, so he's going to take off, but some asshole slashed his tire. So he's, he sees the guy laughing about it.
And he's not even hiding, this guy.
No.
What, would you take one look at Cliff Booth and be like, yeah, I think I'm going to slash that guy's tire and not run, and not hide?
Oh my god.
He's just sitting right next to the car like, he actually makes a noise like that, and you're like, kill him, Cliff.
Cliff Booth is fucking fearless. He is surrounded by killer hippies, and he just goes right up to the guy and goes, fix it.
Yeah. I love how he's like, no, it's not my car. It's my boss's car, and if something happened to it, I'd be in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
So you're gonna fix it.
He takes the jack and
the guy says, fuck you, back to him. Like, oh, dude.
So he just, pop!
Yeah.
One in the face. Guy goes, like, off his feet.
Yeah, that's a great shot, because you don't see either of their faces. You just see feet go up in the air, and dirt, boom.
Oh, and then he just grabs him and just, boom, like 4 or 5 times.
All the ladies look at him, and he says, ladies? One more time.
They tell him to go get Tex.
Yeah.
And then, the guy starts fixing the car.
Yeah, bloody as shit. Yeah, blood running down everywhere.
And then that's it. You don't get to see a follow-up, which I thought was a little odd.
That was like very intense, because I was like, oh, here we go. I love a Texan.
So I guess
Cliff showdown.
He must have fixed that tire before Tex got there.
Basically is what happened, because you see him driving off, and you see Tex like, fuck, like I didn't get back in time.
Yeah.
We'll see you again later, Tex.
Oh, yeah. He's one of the principal killers.
He's one that Brad Pitt remembers. Yeah.
That's such a great.
Also, just at some point in this, Brad Pitt buys Cliff Booth buys a cigarette dipped in acid.
Yeah,
we'll bring that up again later too.
And he's got a pit bull that he loves and adores. He's got him trained to, not whine in exchange for
food. I want
to
hang out with him really bad.
The pit bull. Yeah.
Oh, both Cliff and the pit bull. I just want to hang out with him. I just want to hang out.
Yeah. I guess Tarantino got some backlash from PETA about exploiting pit bulls, but fuck them.
Who cares?
Yeah.
What?
He didn't hurt the dog. It's just,
no.
Yeah.
That's so dumb. If anything, the dog's just a hero that helped take down some.
Those dickheads don't care about animals. They just like screaming about. They just like they're attention whores. That's what they are.
Yeah, and they'll be like, "Oh, Tarantino, these people that make these movies are the very people who promote, strict gun laws. It's a movie,
Yeah. I'll never forgive them for going after the crocodile hunter, one of the most pro-animal human beings who ever lived.
Jesus Christ.
Fuck. All right, forget PETA.
Yes, suck a dick.
That's going to get me... Yeah, it's going to get me riled up. But yeah, Cliff's got a pit bull, loves him, his best friend, and they're hanging out. He's got a cigarette dipped in acid that he just says like, hey, don't smoke this by accident.
Yeah, eventually I'm going to use this, yeah. But now, at this point, everything's in play. We know about these weirdos at this ranch.
Yeah.
We know that they, were okay slashing his tire, and now he's like, okay, I don't like those people, so if they ever come up again, I will do something about it.
Mm-hmm.
They're taking advantage of my friend George Spawn. So he has, some incentive to not like these people at all.
Yeah.
And that's there. And,
Flash forward about 6 months.
Yeah, there literally is a 6-month later thing where they show... Because they've done their work in Rome, they've gone to Italy, done all this stuff, and now they're back, and
We're in August, I think, 69?
Yeah, correct.
Sharon
so
Tate
from February of early '69 to August, they're overseas doing work.
Yeah, Rick takes a part in an Italian western and finally bites the bullet.
Yeah, he gets, 3 or 4. Like you said, he marries Capucci, the hot Italian, and you know.
I think she's played by Eli Roth's wife.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right. You're right. Yeah. I didn't make that connection until now. Now that
I saw her in the cast list. I was like, how
about that? Capucci.
And she's a trophy girlfriend. You get that feeling, or trophy wife. And Rick's just kind of, he's in the hole. He tells Cliff, like, look, I can't keep you on.
Yeah.
And Cliff's a little hurt.
He's like, I got the wife now. I got, this and that. And then I gotta let you go, man. We gotta part ways. Yeah. He even says something like along the lines of, like, I think we've reached the end of the path.
Yeah.
Where it feels, these two, like, Southern style guys are like, yep, there's no more for us to explore.
So they're having,
But in the background, Kurt Russell is narrating and says, there's only one way for two comrades to part ways, and that's to get blind drunk.
So they go just, ape shit on margaritas.
Yeah, they go to some restaurant and get fucking annihilated.
They go to some Mexican restaurant while across town, Sharon Tate, who's 8 months pregnant now, is going to some other Mexican restaurant with her friends. And, they go home to retire for the night.
Brilliantly executed. The way there's narration going on, time, like it's 11:02 now. Now it's this. Now they're this drunk. Now they're this. Explains everything to you.
To casual people,
while you're like, oh boy, something big is.
To people who don't know what's about to happen, it's very much a mystery. Like, why are they talking about this in time increments here? Like,
and he keeps saying like, well, smoking a fat joint, like kind of silly, like satire type stuff, and you're like, what's going on right now?
What are they building towards right now?
Yeah,
but where we are like, oh shit, it's about to happen.
Yeah, we right then and there, I was thinking we're about to see Sharon Tate die.
Yeah,
was what I was thinking.
I knew she was not going to die. I knew that Tarantino was going to do something.
There's no way,
but I didn't know what.
I was like, man, are we about to see just like some madness go on inside that house that we haven't been inside yet?
Well, I thought with the build up, like with Cliff going to the compound and everything, I thought they were going to grab him. I thought he was going to be the guy that they butcher.
Yeah.
And there were little hints at that, but it doesn't quite go that way.
And they could have, because he starts smoking the acid dip cigarette, because he's like, all right, fuck it, I'm drunk with my buddy. This is our last time hanging out together until we're not working together anymore.
Start smoking that. He goes.
Rick Dalton's out in the pool with headphones on, like jamming out, smoking cigarettes.
But before that, he makes a picture of margaritas.
Oh yes, yeah. Don't.
Great fucking scene.
Yeah. Oh yes.
So the Tex and the other 3 killers in the compound.
Did you know the girl that leaves is Ethan Hawke's daughter?
Really?
That's Maya Hawke.
Holy shit.
She's also in Stranger Things Season 3.
Goddamn.
It's really weird seeing these children of these like actors that we love, and I'm like, how are they this old? And you're like, oh, because Ethan Hawke's 50.
Like Harley Quinn Smith is in this too.
Yeah, exactly.
Kevin Smith's daughter.
Exactly. Wild stuff. Yeah,
it's weird. All of the hippies are like second generation directors.
Yeah.
It's really weird.
Led by Lena Dunham, who's
I still don't understand.
Anyway, all right. So
So Rick hears the car idling outside, waiting to...
And he's, like, drunk.
He's way drunk. He's holding a pitcher of margarita.
How drunk he is, I wouldn't be able to, like, move around and, like, do what he's doing. Yeah.
But they're waiting to get into Sharon Tate's house.
Yeah.
And Rick sees them outside. It's like, fucking hippies.
And it's this nasty car, too. Yeah, he knows right away. He's like, oh, Jesus. It's like this car that's like...
Yeah. So he goes out there and it's like, fuck off.
Yeah. He basically, like, curses out these murderers while holding the blender. While holding the margarita. Like, this huge margarita.
He's in a robe. It's perfect. And they're all just like, all right.
He's like hitting the car, like, get the fuck out of here!
All right, we're leaving. It's so good. And as they drive away, they start realizing, was that Rick Dalton?
Yeah, one girl is like, and Big Tech's like, what? You mean for Bounty Law? Which he would love. Rick Dalton would be like, oh, people know who I am. Yeah, that's great. But yeah, they're like, oh shit. And that's when that one girl is like, we should kill the people that taught us violence growing up. Let's kill them.
Rick Dalton.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh fuck.
They're gonna kill Rick Dalton.
They're gonna kill Rick Dalton. Yeah. So they go.
That's when Maya Hawke, Ethan Hawke's daughter, it says, oh, like I don't know about this, and she ended up driving away.
Yeah, she fucked off.
Ditches the 3 losers, which was hilarious. Like these 3 idiots get.
I haven't done a lot of research into Manson. Did that happen?
No.
Nobody ditched him.
No.
That's a shame.
That's hilarious though.
Yeah.
That he was like, I want to make one of them be nervous because they're just like being a little pussy about like whatever they're doing. They're like, I think I'm gonna go home now. That's really fun. He's making fun of them.
Yeah,
I think that's great.
He does that throughout. It's great.
Yeah, I think that's genius.
They don't get a single moment of like to shine, to be badasses.
Yeah.
History will remember them as pieces of shit who killed a pregnant woman.
Yeah.
And in this case,
pieces of shit who couldn't even do that.
Here we go. All right, so they go up to Rick Dalton's house. Cliff Booth has gotten back.
Cliff Booth, got back from walking the dog. Now he's high as
he's tripping.
fuck.
He's looking at his own hand.
He's pointing at his dog. That's a great bit. When he's pointing, he keeps pointing at him like in a, and then he realizes, whoa.
Yeah. The Italian wife is in this. What's her name again?
Capucci's last name. That's all I know. Francesca Capucci.
Francesca. Yeah. Francesca's asleep. Rick Dalton's in the pool with these big headphones and a
because
margarita
they
pitcher.
just flew back from Rome.
Yeah.
They just had this long journey.
And Cliff and his dog are just kind of walking around. And then the hippies break in. And they grab, Francesca. They bring her in. They've got knives. Tex has a gun. And Cliff's like,
what? He's like laughing at them.
Yeah.
What are you? He's like, wait a minute.
He's not afraid at all. My favorite moment is when he asks, who are you? And Tex says the line that he really did say in real life.
Yeah.
I'm the devil, and I'm here to do the devil's business. And Cliff's like, no, that's not it. You're that fucker on the horse.
Yeah.
Like just taking all that power away
He's like,
from
no,
him.
something dumber than that.
It's so perfect.
Yeah. That's such a great thing to humanize those things and make them seem smaller than they were.
Yeah.
And smaller than they are, and that these guys, like, if like looking at a murderer in the face and be like, no, like, you're a loser. Like, that's awesome. That's kick-ass. That's standing up for the nerds, standing up for all the people who get beat up on and picked on. Like, fuck you.
That's Cliff Booth.
Yeah, exactly. Cliff is our guy. Cliff
little
stands
guy.
up for us, yeah.
And he goes, first things first, he whacks one of them in the face with a can of dog food.
Oh my god, and she's the most annoying one.
Yeah.
Because she's the one who's like, let's kill people who taught us violence.
Yeah.
And he,
boom,
nails her with the dog food.
Oh.
Nails her, dude. And she's like,
Yeah.
she can't even see. She's holding a knife in one hand.
He sicks the dog on Tex right in the.
He says,
right in the dick.
He gives his dog the go ahead. Hey, buddy, it's time to get involved.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do that.
And then Francesca whacks the knife out of the other one's hand.
Yes.
And it's on.
Now it's like game time. It's
Shit
like,
just turned sideways, and
this whole house. And Rick Dalton still has no idea what's going on.
he's in the pool.
Still with his headphones on with his margarita.
And so the dog's eating Tex, and Cliff is just beating the shit out of this girl, like whacking her face into everything.
Yeah, he goes to the telephone, boom, boom, goes to the fireplace, boom, the table, boom.
Like John Wick would think this was a bit much.
No, it is a bit much. It is,
but
but it isn't.
You get it. Like,
it's
earned.
it's hilarious because you're like, that guy's on acid and he's just boom. Boom! Like, it's just his, like it's the back of his hand.
And for me, the whole time I'm thinking, like, these are the psychos who killed Sharon Tate.
Yeah.
And Cliff Booth is ripping them to shreds right now.
This fictional character
this is
inside
so
Tarantino's
satisfying.
head is just wrecking
It's beautiful.
them.
And,
it's
of course,
gorgeous.
The dog goes over to the girl, starts eating her.
Yes.
Tex, what had happened to Tex?
How does Tex actually die? Because he gets bit up bad.
Yeah.
Like, bad. But I can't remember exactly, what's his last breath? I can't exactly remember. Because the one girl he just beats to death. Like we know she's dead from just repeated.
Yeah.
And then the third girl who got hit with the dog food.
Yeah. She got mauled by the dog.
I'll let you explain that.
All right, so she... Right, we don't know what happened to Tex.
Yeah, I can't quite remember what his last,
But he doesn't make it out.
But he gets his balls and dick, chomped.
Yeah.
By the dog. So it's pretty bad.
Yeah. So, the third girl...
There's a whole crunch and everything sound.
She gets a hold of the gun at one point. Cliff gets stabbed.
Yes.
And he passes out.
Yeah, like right here in the hip, right? Yeah.
He passes out.
Mind you, he's also on acid.
Francesca runs back to the room, locks the door, and this third girl gets a hold of the gun, starts freaking out, just screaming.
Waving in the air.
Yeah, waving in the air, running with not even looking where she's going, crashes right through the screen door, or the glass door, and falls in the pool with Rick Dalton. And Rick's like,
finally, Rick is involved.
Yeah.
I kind of forgot he was there.
Yeah.
I was like, I guess Cliff's got it. Yeah.
And Rick's just like, fuck, what's that? And she starts shooting, and he's like,
ah! Yeah. And so I love that he's wasted. He's wasted right there, just listening to music, having a good time. But he thought, I think I'm gonna get underwater here and swim under her so she can't shoot me. And then
So then he gets out of the pool, and she's screaming, shooting. So what Rick does the obvious thing that we would all do. he goes and grabs his security system, which is a flamethrower that he kept from his World War II movie he did in the 50s. And he lights her ass up with a flamethrower. And it's bonkers.
It's insane.
It's the craziest shit I've ever seen. And he's just like, that's taken care of.
Yeah.
I better call
she's
someone.
Still like,
Yeah. And he's just like, oh shit, Cliff, you alright? He just goes in there. They call the ambulance, and he's giving his statement. He's like, well, I burned the other one. He's like, like, fuck, man. Cliff's alright. He's gonna be fine. He's going to the hospital. But fuck.
Oh my god. So good.
Yeah.
Oh,
And,
so good. They still have the audacity. Dalton and Booth have the audacity while Booth is getting carried away on a stretcher because he got stabbed. And he's high off his ass like, what just happened? And Dalton's just like, yeah, man, it was another day. Like, another day just dealing with some fucking trespassers. And they're still, like, have that banter when he's, like, driving away in the ambulance. And you're like, I don't want this movie to end because you know it's coming to an end. And you're like, no.
So they heard all this commotion up at Sharon Tate's house.
Yeah, of course. That's when we get a great bit from Emil Hirsch.
Emil Hirsch shows up and is like, hey, is everything all right? And Rick's like, no.
And then he goes, Rick Dalton?
We're big fans. He's like, oh, you are? He's like,
what does he say? He knows what the flamethrower's from.
yeah, he's like, what did you do? Well, I had his flamethrowers. Oh, the one from that Nazi movie.
McCluskey or whatever.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, that one. And he's, you want to come up for drinks? And he's like, yeah, all right. And that's the end of the movie.
Yeah, I love when Emil Hirsch says, he's like, is everybody okay? And he's like, the hippies aren't. Oh my god.
This is a perfect movie, man. Oh,
It
my
really
God.
is. It really is. The ending is hysterical. Hysterically violent.
And it's so satisfying because these fucks got theirs. And I wish this history was like this.
Yeah, I know.
You imagine looking back on that as the night Sharon Tate was almost killed?
Well, I love how it plays with, like, it can take one little minor tweak for history to change. And had there been a Cliff Booth or a Rick Dalton in that neighborhood who would have freaked out those hippies or who would have fought back, who knows what would have happened. But that's not, it's not how it went down. And it's very unfortunate.
You can thank those margaritas.
You really can. You really can.
If Rick wasn't,
And a flamethrower. And Cliff being an incredible fighter. While being really high.
Can of dog food.
That throw is just pristine. I really want to watch that scene again.
Oh, yeah.
So bad.
Yes.
Like, I'm itching to get back to the theater for that.
Beautiful. So
it's brilliant.
The film ends with a commercial of Rick Dalton doing a Red Apple cigarette commercial.
Which
Tarantino's brand.
That he made up.
Yeah. And it's great.
So good.
It's perfect for the...
What did you take away from the last shot of the movie as it's panning over the trees? What kind of ominous?
I took it as the opposite. I took it as things are going to be fine. Like,
I took it as... Okay, that's fair. I also took it as the tone was very fairy tale.
Extremely.
Very Once Upon a Time.
It was like in the Disney movie when they closed the book.
Exactly.
That's the vibe
exactly
I got.
how I felt. Just kind of like...
It felt like, this whole movie, Rick Dalton's struggling with his identity as an actor. He's wondering, am I done? Mm-hmm. And Sharon Tate's wondering, am I going to be big?
Yeah.
And Cliff Booth is wondering, is Rick still my friend?
And am I going to work?
Do I have anything
And am I going to
left?
work
Am I going to work?
Yeah.
And in the end, you get, this guy recognizes Rick. Sharon Tate wants to have drinks with him. His career is fine. He's going to be fine. Sharon Tate made it. She's going to be great.
She's going to have her baby.
Cliff survived in the hospital. He's going to be working again. Rick is always going to be his friend. Everything's going to be fine. And that's the vibe I got. It was like, yeah, you know what? Shit happens, but it's going to be all right.
Yeah. Yeah. There you go.
Unless you're a fucking hippie. In which case, you're going to burn in the pool.
Fucking hippies. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Genius. 10 out of 10 for me. If you read my review, I gave it a 10.
I gave it a 9, but it's like a 9.8. It is up
it's
there.
like there. Yeah,
Another viewing will probably push this over the edge for sure. This was wonderful.
I feel so strongly about this movie. I have not stopped listening to the soundtrack.
This is all from just one viewing, by the way.
Yeah.
We've only seen this
talked
once.
about it for like an hour. Yeah. Yeah.
And we couldn't say enough about the soundtrack. It might be his best
we
soundtrack.
probably missed stuff. We were trying to just go through it chronologically as best we could. And,
Yeah.
go through little subplots here and there. But my God, it is a genius movie, masterclass.
Oh my God, for sure.
And like, it's not even close. It's my favorite movie of the year so far. It's not even close. This is just. This is like what I want when I go to the theater. This is exactly what I want.
Yeah,
right up my alley. Right up your alley. Right up just. Anybody who just adores the history of film, this is exactly what you want. and for that to come out in 2019 is really cool. Like, it gives me hope. Like, hey, man, you know, there's still good shit being made, and he made a classic.
He really did.
And I really, like you said, you mentioned earlier in the episode, I'm really excited to see the buzz and the noise he makes and this movie makes at the Oscars and the Golden Globes and BAFTAs and all that. So I'm very excited.
Yeah, absolutely.
What a film. What a film.
Fantastic.
I'm like, can I own it yet?
Yeah.
Can I go ahead and get that on Blu-ray? Because, yeah.
I did end up buying the soundtrack on Amazon.
Oh, you did?
It'll be here soon.
Nice.
But that's about all we've got.
Yeah, we went to... Yeah, him and I saw it together with one of my buddies and my girlfriend, and we immediately after went to Target to see if we could find the soundtrack.
Yeah. Regrettably, we couldn't, because...
No. It was literally...
I get it, though.
It was also opening day. You know, I get it, yeah. But the music affected us that way. It was... Yeah. And did you notice how there was a lot of, like, covers of songs? Like, there was, like, maybe, like, a really big song that was covered by somebody, like, that was on the radio.
Yeah.
And it felt like it was... Same with the movie, where it's like, here's, like, the balance of real and fantasy and fake and made up. And I was like, what a genius. Like... How did he figure that out? How does he do that? It's almost like all like on the nose and right there in front of you, but it's like, but nobody else does it like him. You know what I mean?
It really is.
It's amazing.
He's the best at characters, dialogue, soundtrack, casting, everything. He knows exactly how to make a perfect film, and he's done it 9 times. And it's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what's crazy is every single one of his movies has at least a 9 from me. A 9 or a 10. It has a 9 or a 10. Either you're... Yeah, that's insane. Every QT movie is... Yeah, it's either a 9 or a 10. Meaning I love it either way. So, that's insane. His filmography just got even stronger. There's another 2 hours and 45 minutes for us to keep dissecting for the years to come.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for another almost 3 hours of more gold to add on to your filmography and your resume, Quentin. Well done.
Absolutely. Well fucking done. And we will see you, or at least I'll see you Wednesday with Creepshow.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to this bonus. I hope you enjoyed it as usual.
And if you have requests for other bonuses, throw them our way, man. We'll give you all.
We'll do anything. This is what we love.
We're not restricted only to horror. Yeah. That's our base is horror because that's what we love. Mm-hmm. So that's going to be our base every week. But if you guys are like, hey, did y'all go see this? Hey, fuck it. We'll throw a bonus of a movie we've seen. We did it with Us right after we saw it.
Yeah.
I like that we did the really quick turnaround for Midsommar. We talked about it right away, and then right now.
Those just happen to be horror movies.
Yes.
And it got into the regular rotation, but this was something special that we've both been looking forward to for a long time.
Yeah, and you got, like you said, episode 5, we talked about Tarantino, for an hour and a half. And then we did a Polanski episode where there's things in this movie. So, for us, this is big for our podcast, in my opinion. For Filmgasm, this kind of ties together some stuff that we have been talking about and discussing and have really started the Filmgasm podcast with.
Yeah.
At the forefront is this stuff. It's very important to us, so...
Extremely.
Really cool.
Yeah, so cool that we got this.
Really good time, yeah.
And, I'll see you Wednesday. Thanks for listening.
Right on.